session 2, starting from 11:45 to 1:15. Again, this is Nipun. So, the session, Dr. Vijay Kumar Dalla, Assistant Professor, NIT Jamshedpur, and all the participants. AACT Atal or online FDP on robotics. Dr. Vijay Kapoor and MTech Material Science in 2008 from IIT Bombay and IIT Roorkee. And Dr. Vijay Kumar Dalla has research publications, 5 on 4 national conference, sorry, international conference and 4 national conference. And he has 14 years of teaching and research experience and he has been actively been a member of Central Committee of Students Activities for Policy and member of Admission Committee for the academic year 2021 for UG, PG and research program, and professor in charge of 19 to till date, and convener. He is a convener, Purchase Committee, Goods and Service of Institute, Sport. To conduct the ICAR 2019 by National Testing Agency, Department of Higher Education. Dr. Vijay sir to take over the session and wish all the participants once again a hand. Sir Dalla sir. Here, sir. Dalla sir.
Okay, just 1 minute. Yeah, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir. Yes,
so,
sir.
Thank you very much, dear professor, for your nice briefing about me and respected coordinators and obviously your college, KCG College of Engineering. I'm very thankful for getting this chance to interact with the participants, faculty members of various institutes, PG students, PhD students. So it's my opportunity to interact with all. Since I am from mechanical background, so I will be more oriented with kinematic portions. Okay, but that what I will show that will yeah, whether it's a mechanical, electronics, CS, it's a interdisciplinary, so there will be no problem. And that what I'm going to expose, that software is very common to all. Anyone can download, anyone can get exposure, can learn and teach and have feeling of kinematic exposure, dynamic exposure. So now I'm going to share my PPT. Yeah. Is it visible? Yeah.
Yes, sir, visible. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but a little bit I will start with the introduction part, then I will connect some theoretical, then I will ultimately go to the software exposure part. Okay. So you might be knowing, but though I'm in quickly. So what is a robot? A robot is an automatic machine capable of carrying out a complex series of actions automatically. And another very popular definition given by the Robotic Society of America, it is a reprogrammable and a multifunctional manipulator designed to move materials, parts, and tools through various programmed motions for the performance of variety of tasks. Okay. So we need to remember, whenever we are going to define, we need to remember these two keywords. Suppose someone asks what is a robot, and this AICT sponsored programs are for creating awareness among the various institutes, even in the schools. Okay, so that just having awareness. So for that we should know a little bit about the things. Then only we can recommend to others. Okay. The two keywords are reprogrammable and multifunctional. Okay. And later, if you going to define, if you want to define, suppose in can define as a robot is a reprogrammable multifunctional automatic machine. Okay. In this way, in a single line, you can define. And the what is the purpose? Why it is designed? Later you can add designed to move. Okay, the parts. If you don't remember materials, parts, or tools, you can say the move the object. You can say. Okay, and that objects may be either materials, parts, and tools through various programmed motions from here, reprogrammable. These words we are taking from reprogrammable. Okay, for the performance of a variety of tasks. Okay, so these we are taking from the multifunctionality. So once again, in a single line, a robot is a reprogrammable multifunctional automatic machine. Okay, and you might be knowing if someone asks that what is the difference between how to recognize whether this machine is a robot or some uh, semi-automatic semi-automatic machine like washing machine or CNC machine. Okay, so the answer is robot is a fully automatic, flexible, not a rigid, means a not fixed kind of programs are being used. But in the case of others, CNC machines, and you might be knowing CNC machine is for the machining. Okay, for the machining means removing materials from the workpiece for making various uh, products. Okay, so in that CNC, the program is fixed kind of program. We cannot change in between during operation or later. That is totally dedicated to do one kind of task. And that is also we need to human involvement is there. But in the case of robots, no need to even involve humans. So same for like a CNC washing machine is also having the same kind of functions. the fixed kind of things we can do. Okay. Now, a little bit about a history from where this term, the robota. Now we are telling a robot, but the initial term was robota, and that was taken from the Czech word which means forced or slave labor. Okay, and it was introduced in 1921 by Karel Čapek, a Czech playwright, in his drama named Rossum's Universal Robot, RUR. In his drama, the word robota was coined. Okay, so from where the evolution of robots, the term was from that drama, and the drama name is Rossum's Universal Robot. And according to Karel Čapek, a robot is a machine look-wise similar to a human being. Okay, like there are three H in robotics, like a hand. If we going to compare a robot with the human beings, so hand in the form of manipulator. What about head? Our head is the head means the robot's head is the intelligence part. What about the heart of the robots? Emotions of human beings. Okay, and there are some laws of robotics. So it is given by Asimov, ASIMOV, Isaac Asimov, in 1920, but some books it is found 1921, but generally 1920. So these laws are related to safety, orders, and its own existence. Okay, what about safety? Okay, our human being is first. A robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm unless this would violate higher order law. A robot must harm to the human beings in any circumstances. What about the second law? It's regarding obeying instructions given by the human beings. In any circumstances, a robot must follow the instructions given by the humans. Okay, but not to violate the first law. Safety is the first concern. And in the third law, robot also has protect itself due to remain existence as long as such protection doesn't conflict with a higher order law. Okay, without violating the first and the second law. So these were the three laws of robotics given by the Isaac Newton in 1920. In some books, it will be given 4 laws, but basically the 3 laws are main. Okay. What about a robotic system? A robotic system, it will have the various parts like shoulder, elbow, wrist. Okay, so this elbow and the wrist comes under the category of arm. Okay, arm means it consists of elbow and a wrist. What about this is the basic mechanical structure of the robot, and for getting motion for doing a desired task, we need to also take a help of various disciplines like electronics, CS for programming, and what about this controller? So we need to have a control unit, okay, for so that uh, robot, whether it is performing well on the control part. So I'm a little bit now moving to kinematics parts, and that software robo analyzer is is for exposure of kinematics. So in robot manipulator kinematics, see here it is written robot then manipulator. Okay, but in some books you will find sometimes it is written as a robot or simply as the manipulator. Here it is written robot manipulator. Okay, so there is almost nothing difference in some books. In like in a book written by Professor S.K. Saha of IIT Delhi, manipulator is the mechanical structure of the robot. Okay, so these two are interchangeable words. What about kinematics? So in kinematics, we only study about the motions without considering the forces. Okay, and the forces are the cause of the motion. Forces or torques in the case of linear motion, forces, and in the case of angular motions, torques. Okay, so once again in kinematics we study about only the positions, velocities, accelerations. We don't study about the forces, how much forces are required to move the manipulator, or torques required to rotate the joints. Okay. So within kinematics, one studies this position velocity as I told. Okay, and this is the serial planar robot. The difference between the planar and the 3D, in planar only it is a 3D, but this schematic we have shown the 3 dimensions, but uh, in the planar only there will be 2 dimensions. We don't uh, suppose x, either x, y, y, z or zx. We don't consider the third dimension. So here, what is this? Below one is the base, and this arm like a hand, and arm consists of series of links. Okay, and the links are connected by the joints. Links are coupled by the joints, and the joints are actuated by the motors. Okay, and what will be the in output from the motors? That will be the forces and the torques. Here this last coordinate system frame, you can say frame, this that is for tool. For getting information about either positions or orientations of the manipulator, we need to apply a coordinate system. Okay, so this coordinate system at the base is the reference coordinate system. Means suppose we are going to know about the robot tip positions, so we need to take some references from where we have to measure. So here we are going to measure it from the base. At each joint system. We can know the robot tip positions or robot joint positions. Okay. So in the kinematic chains, there are some few assumptions and the terminologies. Like a robot manipulator is composed of a set of links connected together by joints, and that joints can be either revolute joint or prismatic joint. These two joints are mainly used, revolute and prismatic joints. A revolute joint a rotation by an angle about fixed axis. A prismatic joint are displacement along a single axis. More complicated joints of 2 or 3 degrees of freedom are represented as combination of the simplest one. Okay. So a robot manipulator with n joints will have n plus 1 links. Okay, this we can observe here. For each joint is connected by the two links. That's why the number of links will be one extra than the joint. Suppose for there are 3 joints, then the number of links will be 4. Each joint connects two links. We number joints from 1 to n and the links from 0 to n. Okay, you can see here links, however it is not, but this link.
Recharge your DTH with ₹160 and get up to ₹500 off on Myntra. Recharge now. I enjoy shopping to recharge. Visit d2h.com or download D2H Infinity app.
Oh, I think some disturbances. Okay. Okay. Okay, so how to name the joints, how to name the links. Links, the naming starts from the 0, but the joints start from the number 1. Okay. Okay, the location of joint I is fixed with reference to the link I minus 1. Okay, that is. What about the forward and the inverse kinematics? Okay, this we will visualize this by using that software Robo Analyzer, but we should know about the basics forward and the inverse kinematics. So the forward kinematics is what in which the values of the joint angles will be given, and what we have to evaluate, we have to evaluate the robot tip positions. Okay, so in this, suppose the values θ1, θ2, θ3 will be given. Suppose for θ1 is 20, θ2 is 40 degree, and θ3 is suppose minus 30 degree, like that. So these are the inputs. The joint angles are the inputs, and what will be the outputs? So our robot tip, this and effectors. Okay, and effectors either may be gripper or tool. Here it is a tool. So these positions of the tools are the in outputs in the case of forward kinematics. Okay. What about in the case of inverse kinematics? Inverse kinematics, so that output of the forward kinematics then will become the inputs. And what were the outputs? The outputs were the robot tip positions. So robot tip positions means x, y, z coordinates will be here inputs. And what will be the outputs here? The joint angles will be the outputs. Okay. So what does it mean? To locate to locate any object particular you can say goal point. There may be possibilities of having more number of sets of the joints. Okay, in one set, all theta 1, theta 2, theta 3 will have some values. In another set, it will have some values. Either all will have different values, or some some angles will have different values. Okay, so and this is more practical. Inverse kinematics are more practical. Suppose I'm going to drink water. Okay, for that this is my target point. Okay, so there may be multiple ways. Like I can uh, uh, grasp this like this way. I can grasp this like this way. I can go to handle this bottle like this way, means exactly. So, so this is more practical. Just drink a water. Yeah, I'm getting disturbance. Please look it. Yeah, please.
Participants, please mute your mic.
Okay. What about this block diagram? The same, it is represented in the form of block diagram. The same things. Here, the joint space description left side, and the right side is green color. In the green color box, Cartesian space description. So Cartesian means x, y, z coordinates, and the joint space description means the joint positions. Okay, so here and this the middle one Fk is forward kinematics, and Ik denotes inverse kinematics. Okay, so and the links and the joint parameters. The link lengths will be common. So for the given joint space description, what is the Cartesian description? Okay, in the more technical form, we can write, so that is known as the forward kinematics. And if we inverse, like for the given Cartesian description, what will be the joint space description? So it is known as the inverse kinematics. Okay. And this is the schematic diagram of robots. We are taking example of planers because easily we can understand this planar 3D may be difficult. Okay, so here is a 3 degree of freedom robot, and in robotics, and firstly we should know what is this degrees of freedom. Degrees of freedom means the number of independent variables which can completely describe the system. System is here robot. So here in the case of robotics, each joint is considered a 1 degree of freedom. So here, how many joints are there? Theta 1, theta 2, theta 3. So we have 3 number of joints. It means 3 degrees of freedom. And a planar robot arm means we are only considering X and Y. Okay, thickness of the robot we are not considering here for just understanding. Okay, so as I told you how to give numbers, we need to name all the links, all the joints. So link we start from 0. Okay, we start from 0, then link 1, link 2, link 3. But the what about numbers? What about the joints? So joint 1C we start from 1, not from 0. Joint 1, joint 2, joint 3, like that. Okay. And here XE, YE, and this phi E, these are what? These are the and effector positions. And this is the final orientation of the manipulator, phi E. And the phi E will be what? This will be theta 1 plus theta 2 plus theta 3. And how to get this XE and YE? So suppose we are going to we are going to write equation of YE. Okay, so how to get it? From this x-axis, this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. From this x-axis, what we have to do? We have to draw E. E is the and effector. Okay, so this height will be the coordinate of y and effector in y direction. So how to get it? So link wise we will get it. So for link 1, what will be? Link 1, we have to get this one. This height we want to know. This height we want to know. So what will be? This L1 sin theta. L1 link length is L1. So L1 sin theta 1 and plus L2 sin theta 1 plus theta 2. Okay, because theta 2 is measured from the axis of the link 1. Okay, so that's why theta 2 not measured from the axis, the horizontal axis. That's why we are going to add here the theta 1. See here, L1 sin theta 1 plus L2 sin theta 1 plus theta 2 and plus L3 sin in the third link L3 sin theta 1 theta 2 then theta 3. Okay, in this way we can get the kinematic equations of the robot. So similarly for x directions also we can get what will be the sin theta. The sin will be replaced by cos. So what will be this L1 cos theta 1 plus L2 cos theta 1 plus theta 2, okay, and so on. Okay, so again inverse kinematics of planar manipulators, as I told you, mainly there will be the multiple solutions. That is the beauty of inverse kinematics. Okay, like see here, multiple solutions. If you see this schematic diagram, so there are two configurations: the elbow up configuration and the elbow down configuration. And what is the configuration? Configuration is what? Position plus orientation of the manipulator. Means pose of the manipulator. So see here, elbow up configuration and the elbow down configuration. Okay, but the wrist, the location is same, and effector location is same. Either we follow with this configuration or this configuration, the end effector position, you can say location is same. Okay, so it is only possible if we have the more extra degrees of freedom. And if a robot will have various configurations, means the various way to reach the goal points, then the robot is called a redundant robot. Okay, and the redundant robot will be only possible, means a redundancy will be only possible if there will be extra degrees of freedom. Like our human body is a best example of a redundancy, redundant arm. We have a number of joints, extra joints we are having. That's why we are more flexible. We have more capable. Okay. What about the existence of multiple solutions provides the robot with an extra degree of flexibility? Consider a robot working in crowded. If multiple configurations exist for the same end effector position orientation, the robot can choose the most appropriate collision-free configuration. Okay, so this is where the redundancy can be exploited. In the crowded environment, like a narrow space, which configuration is appropriate so that it should not hit the nearby objects in the workspace. Also, in case of failure in the joints, if there will be a limited number of joints, then in case of failure, we cannot use that joint. Okay, then ultimately the motions will be affected. That is the main criteria. The motions will be affected. Okay. Each IK solutions, inverse kinematic solution must satisfy joint range limits. Okay, these are the joint angles, and this robot is the Puma 560 robot. It's a industrial robot, Unimat robot. Okay. Yeah, Unimat is the first robot, first industrial robot developed by Unimation company. And the joint angles, these are the joint angles. Okay. And there will be obviously some joint limits because we have to save the robots. We have to take a task from the robot without it's breaking down. So that's why some certain joint angles, means joint angles rotations are limited. Okay, so what about, but in the case of prismatic joint, so in the prismatic joint there will be movement only in x direction. It cannot rotate. Okay, that's why the stroke limit should be also there in the case of prismatic joints. Okay. Yeah. Here, like elbow up configuration and the elbow down configuration. Here, the two configurations, and these are, then the robot becomes now parallel. Okay. See link 1 and this uh, link 3, 4 becomes like parallel. Okay. But our main objective is to locate the object at the same point. There, here we cannot compromise. Okay. So again, how to get kinematic equations, and the below figure is the serial link manipulators. See, the base is connected to the ground, or it may be floating. There may be some mobile. In the case of mobile robot, the base may mobile, and the links, the number of links are connected by the joints, and last one is end effector. Okay. Now, quickly, I'm moving to the DH parameters. So, DH parameters, better this one, then we come back to the previous slide. Okay. The DH, the full form is Dana-Witt-Hartenberg parameters. 4 DH parameters. And what are these parameters? So, these parameters are alpha, A, D, theta. And alpha is what? Alpha is the twist angle. A is what? The link length, like L1. D is what? The you can say joint offset. This is, and what about this? Theta is the joint angle. Joint angle in the case of rotary joints, revolute joints. D in the case of prismatic joint. And a robot may have combination, either combination of both prismatic and rotary joints, or singly prismatic or singly revolute joints. Okay. So these what about variables? So these joint will be variables. Okay. So again, and this is what DH parameter, why it is required. For a simple robot, this kind of robot easily we can analyze. Analyzing means getting motions. Analyzing means getting motions, or you can say analyzing means able to write the equations, and for writing equations we need to take help of either geometric configuration. So with the help of this geometric, easily we can write the kinematic equations. But what about if robot becomes complex? Okay, then likewise we cannot get the kinematic and the dynamic equations. And for motions, data in the CS and with the help of computer science, that equations, kinematic equations and the dynamic equations are converted into the language of robots, the language of machine. But the basic thing, from where the codes come, so it comes from the kinematics and the dynamics. Okay, so for the complex system, complex robot, like having multiple degrees of freedom and a combination of prismatic rotary joints, we cannot easily get the kinematic and the dynamic equations. Okay, so here, but this is DH parameter is restricted to kinematics only. Okay, here. So ultimately, why it is required? The answer I have told, and how. So this is the link description. For example, axis I minus 1 and the axis I. This is the axis and this is the previous axis. This is the present axis. Okay. And in between there will be a join. Sorry, there will be a link. Okay. Now see the axis I minus 1 and see the axis I. Both, if we extend further, both will intersect to each other, or you can say making some angle. So what I am going to tell, earlier it was the orientation was this one. Now it becomes like this. Okay. So how, now what is happening here? Transformations, making movement of objects. Transformations are being, so after how many transformations? And the transformations are what? Either rotations or translations or both. So what is happening here? How to reach this point? A object is here and we want to reach the object from here starting point to the goal point. So how to reach? How many transformations are required? Okay. So firstly, we want to make this axis. Earlier it was like that. Now we want this. So what we have to do? We need to rotate this earlier axis to make parallel. Okay, parallel to x, sorry, I axis. Okay, so by making parallel, what will be? There will be twisting. It will twist by some angle, and that angle is here, alpha I minus 1. Okay, now it becomes parallel. Okay, but the point is here on axis I minus 1, but another point is here on axis I. The point is not at the same point. Okay, so how much difference is here? I minus 1. Okay, so what to do now? We need to translate the object along this axis, and this is the x-axis. So by translating the point, the object will reach to here. Okay. So this alpha and the A. And A is what? Link length. Alpha is what? Link twist. Now, we will come to know about the other two parameters. These are theta and the D. Now, our purpose is to reach the object from here, starting point, to somewhere here. So what to do? Okay. And see in this, the x-axis, this xi minus 1, this one, and this is the xi. Both are again not parallel. So our purpose is this xi, this one, we want to make parallel to this xi. I'm going to write here Can I write here? Okay, here this is the xi minus 1 axis, this is the xi axis. Okay, so we want to make it parallel. So again, what we need to do, we need to rotate the axis about some, means rotate about some axis. So how much? Here theta. Okay, so okay, now it got oriented, but still there is some distance to reach. Okay, and that is along the axis. That is along the axis. Then we need to consider here the prismatic joint, means D. So ultimately, the point starts from here and will reach to here. Okay, so how many transformations are there? There are 4 transformations. Okay, firstly the twisting, second is translation. Twisting is a rotation. Okay, rotation, then translation, then again rotation, then again translation. But this translation is along the manipulator axis. Okay, okay. These are the intersecting joint axis. Means how to know whether there is a, means to understand this twist angle in better way. These two axes are intersecting to each other, and our purpose is to make it parallel. And for making that, how much angle how much we need to twist it. Okay. Now, regarding we're taking an example of first link and assuming there is a revolute joint, and these are the 2 coordinates, 2 frames. One is 0 frame and another is 1 frame. 1 in red color, 0 in blue color. Okay. So these 2 are not coinciding to each other. Okay. These 2 are not coinciding to each other. So why? Because there is some rotation about some axis. Okay. So how much rotation? This theta1 rotation. If theta1 becomes 0, then both the frames will coincide to each other. Then what will be? All the parameter values will be 0. Okay. Like this is a naught, alpha naught, and a di. These are 0. Only there is a twist angle. If we put a 0 value, then all parameters value will be 0. Okay. Similarly, this we can understand with the help of a prismatic joint. So see again the both frames. Frame means the coordinate system. Okay. So again, both are coinciding but are not at the same origin. These are above one, the revolute one, coinciding to each other but are at the same origin, but it is not at the same origin. Okay, so how it will be at the same origin? By putting d1 is equal to 0. Okay, and what about others? See, others are 0. By putting d1 is equal to 0, it will have all the parameters will be 0. Okay. Similarly, now taking we are considering the last link, and the same the revolute prismatic joints. See both axes. this is previous axis, and this is the present axis. And in between there will be link length along the x-axis. And that is here x for this frame, for this axis, xn minus 1, and for this xn. Okay. So what is the difference here? This xn got rotated by theta n. Similarly for the prismatic joint. Okay. So ultimately, why we are doing this? Our purpose is to get the positions of the robot tips. We want to locate the objects accurately at the defined points, at the goal set points. Okay. So for that, we want to know, we want to analyze. So that analyzing we are going to do here, and the analyzing parts. So ultimately what we get, with the help of all 4 configurations. Okay, see here, this transformation for one transformation, this is for another, this is third, this is fourth. Okay, means there will be 4 matrices, and we need to multiply all matrices, then we will know about the robot tip positions and the orientation. So this fourth column, the 3 elements will denote that robot tip positions. This a I minus 1 is equal to x, and this one is equal to y, and this is equal to z. What about this 3 by 3 matrix? This is the rotation matrix. It tells the information about the orientations of the manipulator. Okay. So similarly, suppose we want to get that DH parameters for this planar robot. Okay, and here there are 3 revolute joints. R denotes revolute planar manipulator. Okay, so we want to know what are the values of alpha, A, D, and theta at each axis. Okay, I denotes the number of axis. So for if I is equal to 1, okay, then previous axis will be what? 0. See here, x naught, and this is the x1. Similarly, y1, y naught. Okay. Now focus on axis I. Now we want to know about the twist angle. Okay. And what about here for this? The z will be here in this direction. Okay, and both are parallel. That's why there will be 0 angle. And similarly for all, not only for axis I, it is same for all axis this 2, 3. That's why all values will be 0. Okay. What about A, link length? So between this x naught and y naught, because both are at the same origin, so link length will be also 0 here. Okay. But what about for other axes? Axis between this 1 and 2, there will be L1, and axis between these 3 and 2 will be L2. Okay. Now is there, it is a revolute. Okay, there is no prismatic joint. There is only rotations. So all values of D will be 0. Okay. And the theta, the angle between the previous axis means in the x direction and the present in same direction. So angle between x naught, it means angle between x naught and the x1 is here theta 1, and the same for all. So theta 1, theta 2, theta 3. Okay, but here link lengths are L1, L2, L3. So, but L3 we won't be accommodate this. L3 is not displayed here. Okay, so for that, what we need to do, we need to take frame like axis 3. So axis 4 also means we need to put a coordinate system at the end factor. Here coordinate systems are at only joint 3. Okay, that's why L3 is not being considered. If we put the coordinate system at the last point at you can say the AND factor, then the L3 will be included in this DH table, and it will be shown in the analysis. Okay. Yeah, please allow me to take a break of 2 minutes. Then we will have some that robo analyzer part. Please allow me 2 minutes break. Yeah, in between, if you have any doubts, you may put messages in the chat box. Yeah, and actually I forgot to mention. I am covering the tomorrow's part, the robo analyzer, and at that time today I'm not going to cover the AI in robotics, and because we need to justify. That's why the AI in robotics should come after this robo analyzer. Okay. Now coming to the robo analyzer parts. The software is developed by Professor S.K. Saha and his team. And what are the important contents? It is for robotics education, homogeneous transformation, as I told you, transformation, that matrix, 4 by 4 matrix, DH parameters, forward kinematics, inverse kinematics, motion planning. Okay. Robotics, so what are the applications? And it is applications are not only limited to now for industrial. It is in robotics can be used in industries, are being used in academics, research, entertainment, like a robot movie of Rajnikant, part 1 and part 2, and obviously for medical applications. And now it is being included in the UG syllabus. So their courses are being included, theories, practicals. Yeah, why not to switch to the software now? Okay, so it is a software is a priceless, means freely we can access, we can download. So how, from where we can download? So go to the Google, type Robo Analyzer, okay. Then it comes the Robo Analyzer, the website is www.roboanalyzer.com. If you click, a window comes. Okay, now see the left part. Here, home. Home means what is this? Robo Analyzer. Robo Analyzer is a 3D model based software that can be used to teach and learn the robotics concept. It is an evolving product developed in Mechatronics Lab, Department of Mechanical Engineering at IIT Delhi. Okay, so it is a little bit about its features. What are the features? Okay, and there are number of versions that can be seen in the this by clicking downloads. See the version, now the latest version is V7.5. Okay, and what are the system requirements? These are the system requirements. So by having this kind of specifications, you can use this software. Okay, so you can easily download this, and these are the features added in the new versions. In this version, this part, homogeneous transformation matrix, this module is added. And there are some tutorials, video lectures, some frequently asked questions, publications, virtual experiments, and some mechanical analyzer. There are some more softwares by clicking this dynamic read I sim, make analyzer. Okay, this is for robot analyzer is only for robotics, and make analyzer here. Make analyzer is for some mechanism portion. Okay, so I downloaded this in my system. Yeah, this one. From here I downloaded, and I opened this. Again, I'm doing. Okay. So this is the coordinate system, and here STM module, homogeneous transformation matrix module. Okay, and see here there is a local, global, means for translation globally or locally we can translate or rotate. Okay, now see the motion. Suppose I am moving, putting some values in x direction. See some changes. See, the frame is moving in x direction. Suppose I'm putting value 5 in y direction. So see what is happening. Yeah, it is moving in y direction. What about the z direction? Suppose I'm putting value of 6, then see. Okay. Now suppose I'm doing this. Okay. Yeah. And what that means, this local and the global. See, this local frame, global frame, same for translation and a rotation. This panel, top panel, this window comes in this or Zoho Analyzer software. Okay, and see the last column is for the coordinate systems. Okay, coordinate systems in x, y, z directions. Okay. Now rotations. This the 3 by 3 matrix shows the rotation. Okay. Now the difference between local versus global in HTM. So current transformation, what does it mean? Current transformation multiplication of individual matrices. Okay. But a local transformations, what we have to do in local transformations means this is our one absolute frame. This is our absolute frame, and this is my mobile. Suppose there is a local frame. Okay, so whatever the transformation will be there in the local. So what we have to do? We need to we will have a number of matrices, but we need to multiply that in a sequence. So what we have to do? Suppose after this, whatever transformation will be happening, so what we have to do? We have to post multiply. Okay. But in the global, what we have to do? If we consider the previous, the absolute frame, then what we have to do? We need to pre-multiply. Okay. Yeah, similarly, rotations also we can fill by rotating. Suppose x-axis, I'm putting values 10 degree. Okay. See the, suppose I'm putting more large values. 50 I'm putting. Now see the rotation about x-axis, and this is our x-axis. See the rotation about x-axis. Okay. Now rotation about y-axis. See, rotation about y-axis. This one, green color, and rotation about z-axis. Suppose, yeah. See now, this z-axis is fixed, and the rotation is about that axis, and the other axes are being rotated. And see, changes, you might be observing changes in these matrices. If you change values of x, y, z in Cartesian space, the values in the last column will be changed. If you change the values, joint angles, so this rotation matrix and the positions will be changed. And one can observe this. I'm suppose putting x some values, suppose 30. Now what are the changes happening in this matrix? Yeah, what changed? Okay. Now so there are two applications, one for that visualization of coordinate systems, and now the robo analyzer. It's a 3D visualization of robots. So this window, see what are the things here to explain. The see here below the DH parameters. Okay, and the default robots means these are the robots default by default in this software. 1 to 7 degrees of freedom are there. And what about the types of robots? Select a robot like a prismatic, two prismatic, two revolute, prismatic revolute, revolute prismatic. Okay. So this is what. See, two revolute. 2 degrees of freedom means two prismatic joints. Okay. Now we have to visualize. Okay. Yeah, similarly, if we increase degrees of freedom, like a 5 number of degrees of freedom, and take a robot, this one, say 555, one revolute, then again revolute. Oh, 3 prismatic joints and 2 revolutes. Okay. Now we're going to visualize, we're going to load the selected robot. Okay, we are going to load it. Okay, see. Okay, and according to this, the DH parameters got changed, and depending of the number of joints, see 5 here, default robots here, 5 degrees of freedom. So joint numbers are here 5, and the joint type 3 joints are prismatic and 2 are revolve. And what about the joint offset? Okay. So prismatic here, prismatic joints are in this case, prismatics will be variable, and joint angles, these are the joint angles, link lengths. Also we can change the link length. Suppose joint to link length, we are going to change. So you can visualize it, how to, yeah. Yeah, how to change it? Suppose to we want, and yeah. It also comes here in another window. Yeah, here. Now we can jog the joints, means we can change the joints. We can see the motions in this window. I'm moving joint 1, then see, yeah, this joint just near to base is rotating. What into, yeah, this joint 2 is rotating. Now joint 3 is here. Okay. What about joint 4? Where is joint 4? See, in this way one can visualize it by jogging joints. Now I am rotating joint 5 and joint 6, and see the changes. See the changes in this homogeneous transformation matrix. Just observe it, what is happening. Okay. Yeah. Now this also we can take these are the default robots. Also we can access from if you save, like I'm accessing this one. Okay. You can also access your own robot. If you have model, you can access. Okay. Now see the right side link configuration, and if you update, values will come here. We are talking about joint 6. In this way you can observe the joint 2, like that. What are the values? What about the AND factor configuration? Yeah, this is the AND factor configurations. Okay, the same homogeneous matrix it comes. What about the joint trajectories? Okay, means which kind of pattern we are going to follow, either circular or something what. So like a cycloidal or cubic. Now forward kinematic and I told you, I told the forward dynamics and the inverse dynamics. So now we are going to analyze, okay, that kinematic equations now written here. Now we are going to visualize it by playing it. Now see the motions. Okay. Okay. So this is about forward kinematics. Okay. What about inverse kinematics? See, this inverse kinematics, as I told you, if I click this IK, IN, then I will have the number of solutions. As I told you, in inverse kinematics, we will have multiple solutions to reach the goal points. Okay. Now suppose solution, these are the solution 1, solution 2, solution 3, 4. Likewise, how many solutions are there? 8 solutions are there. And these are based on the inputs. The number of solutions based on the inputs. And what are the inputs? Inputs are the joint angles, joint offsets, link length. Okay. Now I am taking solution 8. Solutions 8 I am taking, and now it will show on this window. See, if I am taking solution 8, and the goal point, the AND factor positions are same, locations are same. Suppose I am now solution 4 I am taking. See the changes. See the changes. Solution 5 I am taking. Okay. Also, here we can select the initial values. Suppose the solution 1 I have taken as initial values, and solution 2 I have taken as the final values. Then see what is happening. Yeah. And solution, instead of solution 2 I am taking solution 8. Now observe this 3D model. What is happening? Solution 8. No more changes. And solution 5, suppose solution 5. Yeah. Yeah, this we can observe here in DH parameters. These are changing. Yeah. Likewise, this is the one way. Another way, by this graph, we can analyze. Okay. So once again, yeah, we need to take forward kinematics or inverse, suppose inverse kinematics. Okay. And this now in forward kinematics, I want to see the motions. Yeah. Now this we can visualize by this graph. Okay. The joint 1, joint values. See, here we are not getting the forces because we are only doing for kinematics. See what are the values of these joints. I'm minimizing this. Yeah. Only joint 1 I'm taking. Suppose we want to know about joint 4. Okay. So this is the value of joint 4. In this way, for visualizing the dynamics, what we have to do, firstly we need to analyze the forward kinematics, then forward dynamic, inverse dynamics we can, and whenever we are going to visualize the inverse dynamics, means dynamics, so here means we are putting values of masses, center of gravity. Okay, then it will tell about yeah. So with the help of graph, we can know about what were the forces in the torques. Okay, and this also we can visualize Why not to take a simple robot, 3 degree of freedom, 3 revolute robots I have taken. Okay. Now forward kinematics, then inverse kinematics, and then I am playing this. It is easy to understand. Okay. Now I want to visualize this with the help of this graph. So these are the just 1 minute. I mean, sir, these values will come here, the forces and the torques. Only if you take a kinematics, then we can not observe that. Like suppose join 3, we want to know about force. Yeah, values I think we have not selected. Okay. Values, what other values? Like link 3, mass. Yeah, it's there, but yeah, in this way one can, it is not a big problem. By this graph, one can get value of torques or forces. Okay. Also, one can interface the MATLAB. The MATLAB code can be visualized here. And this is also not only limited to robotics, limited. It can be used for other, like for knowing a mechanism, for visualizing the mechanisms, we can use this. So with this, I would like to close my session. If anyone is interested to ask any queries, you may ask, please.
Participants, do you have any queries? Please ask them. Okay. Tomorrow also we have sir is going to continue the another one session, no? That time. Okay, Professor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor. Thank you so much for taking your time out of a busy day to visit here and to share your knowledge with the participants.
Yeah.
The information you have shared was very enlightening. Again, my sincere thanks to your presentation. We'll meet tomorrow, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yeah.